Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Train Sim World, and welcome back to the West Somerset Railway DLC. I don't know if you're a basketball fan. If you are, I don't know if you know who Russell Westbrook is, but saying West Somerset Railway and not sounding like an insane person is a little bit like saying Russell Westbrook. Because the rest of your conversation is flowing, and then when you get to that one phrase or word, it's like you bring it way down slow. We're going to do this one to the beach, and we're going to do it because I want to drive this adorable little locomotive, the Class '09. I don't know what it is about that little guy, but I've taken a fancy to him. It says 75 minutes. Maybe we'll split it into two parts. Let's see how it goes. I've had some of these scenarios. They say it'll take an hour. It goes by in 45 minutes. I've had some say it'll take 30 minutes and it takes an hour. So we'll play it by ear. If it's running too long, I'll just cut it in half. To the beach. Oh, look at him. Welcome to Bishop's Lightard. Let's get this train into service. You got it. Climb aboard. Sit in the driver's seat of the locomotive. I would love to. I've been looking forward to this. There we go. What? Wooden floor. Closed. Have a seat. Oh. That is fancy. Set the main light switch to on. Oh. Follow the big green dot. Marker lights. Interior lights. Where are main lights? I guess those are main lights. So they are. Climb down and switch the marker lights on. Climb down to where? Oh, this is old school. Love it. This one too? We probably don't want a red light on the front of a train, do we? So it's just the offset one? Okay. Climb up ladder. Yes, we will. Close the door. Have a seat. Set brakes to first application. We can do that. Done. Unlock the passenger doors. Why am I feeling like we want to do it this way? Yeah, let's do that. I get it? Are they unloading? They certainly are. Fantastic. All right, cool. Man, look at that little guy. Look at him. Oh, that is fantastic. If I had to describe him, I would say he is mighty. That is a mighty locomotive. Right. Is there anything else we can do while we're waiting? Kind of familiarize ourselves with the... So we got the sander. Sand off. There's our sander. Our straight air brake. Okay. This is our driver's brake. What does this do? No, there's our horn. There's a reverser. This is a throttle. Okay. Door, hot plate, window, parking brake. That window opens. Fantastic. Can I? I sure can. Love it. Can't wait. Can't wait to drive with my head hanging out the window. Just something about it feels right to me. Whoa. Alright. Fixing to Fixing to depart. Lock the doors. You got it. Lock right. Okay. Objective complete. Alright. Set the reverser to forward. You can do that. Set the brakes to release. Increase, release. Increase the throttle and sound the horn. I feel like we're not. Are we? Okay. I didn't know if I needed to, because the brakes are in the running position now. Okay. So you release them, and then when you let go of the button, it goes to running. Okay, that's cool. Let's take a look at this little fella. This mighty little fella. Look at him. Oh man, he's even got the little what do you call those things? Down on the side, on the wheels, he's got those little like train things, you know, like trains have. Oh, I love this guy. I love it. I love that he's got no headlight. Like, I don't even need to see what's in front of me. Not even worried about it. Oh, he's fantastic. I love him. Right. So where are we going? We're going to Crocombe Heathfield. I think we've been there before. Where are we going on our map? Going here. Okay. So there's Crocombe Heathfield. Get some more throttle going. And we are going up a hill. Ah, I forgot to turn those markers off. Just realized that. You know what? I don't even want to mess with that, but I will get those at some point. Oh, look at this. We're going wide open. Oh. Turns out 4 is... That's all the open we've got. That's all the wide open. That's all the wide open this train comes with is 4. Okay, well, you know. He's mighty. And I do love that horn. Fact. I'm not a train buff. I know some people are. I'm not. I gotta be real with you. I don't know what this train runs on. I mean, I assume it's diesel because it's not making steam of any kind. It's just making like smoke. So that's diesel smoke. Is that what that is? It's not steam. But I feel like I should have a better understanding of what this guy is. And oh, that was my other question. Is the DLC historical, or is it a historical train that's operating in the modern era? And seeing those solar panels, I'm going to go ahead and say we are in the modern era. One would hope. Oh, that's fantastic. It's like when the RFP came into the engineers, they were like, is it cool if we make him really cute? And the people from procurement were like, cute? What do you mean cute? Why would you make him cute? And they're like, you know, cute. Like maybe we could give him a funny voice or something. And then the procurement people are like, yeah man, whatever. Make it cute. All it's got to do is pull train cars. That's what we're concerned about here. Make it pull train cars. It can be as cute as you want. And this is what you end up with. An adorable train. And he's mighty. He's definitely mighty, but he's not the fastest train, because we're not really pulling like a gigantic train here. Just half a dozen passenger cars. Is that what I'm seeing? Yep. Well, he's mighty, because he's not exactly carrying the mail with this wee train. But you know what? Doesn't matter. I love him just the same. My little guy, my brave little guy. Look at him go. Ah, this is awesome. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. Probably a little early for wine, but I'm feeling like I should make an exception. It's been that kind of a day so far. This is the view. I spent a lot of time in this view yesterday, and it was really working for me. I don't think we need to worry about speeding at the moment. I think we're safe from excessive speed. Yep, this is working for me. Now let me, because I can see this almost looks like the top of a boiler here, but I don't know, some type of a crank cover or something. Is there one on the other side? No. Okay. And I'm also curious how this little guy stops. Does he have mighty brakes? And I guess we're going, I mean, is the beach at the end of the line, or is the beach a stop somewhere in the middle? Curious. Also want to see what the waves look like. I know there were some, I wouldn't say complaints, maybe too strong a word, but I know in Train Simulator, all the way up to Train Simulator 2018, the waves were maybe not the best, particularly in that Riviera DLC. So this being the new iteration, it's on a new engine, is that right? New physics, new graphics. Curious to see what the waves look like in TSW. Guess we'll find out shortly. Oh, come on, little guy. Yeah, definitely going up a hill now. That's interesting. Can't go too low angle before it tries to look through the cab. Alright, we'll just go right here for a minute. You know, it's hilarious because this morning, first thing I did this morning was I was owing a Formula One video. And I've been putting it off because I'm just learning to drive Formula One. I'm so used to driving sports cars in simulation. I really haven't driven a lot of F1. And I hate to put crap out there, and I hate to put out videos where I'm not like really doing things well. So I've really been practicing Formula One, and because of that I've been stalling posting the video, because everything that I record, it's like, no, Not yet. Let me practice a little bit more. Needs more practice. So I feel like I finally could hold a decent lap, right, and not be embarrassed about what I was posting. So first thing this morning, I posted Formula One, which is probably, if not the fastest top speed I've ever, fastest top speed in a simulation game is probably in a Can-Am car or something at Le Mans, on Mulsanne at 240 miles an hour. But Formula One cars, they're plenty fast, no problem there. So it's hilarious to go from a Formula One car to this mighty little locomotive. Simulation gaming, man, I love it. I love it. I am really pleased to be living in a time where we have simulation gaming like this, because I think it's awesome. It really makes me happy. Alright, so we'll get to Crowcombe Heathfield. I say Crowcombe and then I realize like that might not be not the abbreviation, but like that might not be the shorthand for it, because there could just as well be a Crowcombe proper, like one village over, and if I just say Crowcombe, people are like, oh yeah, you're talking about this. I'm like, no, I'm too lazy to say the second word, and they're like, oh, well, that doesn't help at all. So Crowcombe Heathfield, and then we'll see how far it is from there. I don't know if we have other stops in between, or if we're going there straight to the beach. I guess we'll find out. Right, and we're going uphill. Oh, there goes my voice again. We're going uphill, and we're not going very fast, so I'm not going to get too awful worried about stopping this thing on time. It ain't exactly the TGV. Man, what a relaxing game. Crazy relaxing. Right, here we go. Here's our destination. I'm here, just taking in the scenery. I feel like our frame rate was a little better last time. I'm not sure if that was a different locomotive or... Man, I get frustrated with Windows 10 It's supposed to have this game mode, and game mode is supposed to more or less like close down every part of your system that isn't related to the game that you have running at that moment, right? That's what it's supposed to do. I've seen benchmarks of it where it really doesn't do anything at all. And I do the hokey trick. I mean, I have my startup menu set up where, not start menu, but the actual startup items. I have my startup items dialed back to almost nothing, and I've removed a lot of bloatware and crapware that comes with a Windows machine, and gone in and manually uninstalled things, taken things out of the registry. I've done everything I can so that the only things that are running are things that need to be running. And I still feel like there are times when Windows is just, it's almost, there are times when it almost feels like you're actively fighting your own operating system, right? Like, it's my laptop. I bought it. When I bought it, that covered Windows, like Hewlett-Packard Omen. It's an HP Omen. Hewlett-Packard paid a licensing fee to Microsoft to put Windows on this machine. So I paid for the laptop. I paid for Windows. Like, it's mine now. Can it do what I want it to? And it is endlessly frustrating to me that when you buy a computer, it doesn't necessarily do what you want it to. It does what Microsoft wants it to do. If that makes sense. It's very frustrating for me. It always has been. It just seems like there's a disconnect. And I read something really kind of a downer, but they said that Windows is no longer an operating system. It's no longer concerned with operating your PC. What it's concerned with now is gathering data. That Windows is just a data collection system now. All right, let's test some brakes here. I think we're going to be okay. We're not going too fast. We're also not on a clock. Oh. Fantastic. We have some doors to open. Unlock the doors. You got it. On the left side. You got it. Our signal just changed. Oh, look at these people. They can't wait to get on board. Our signal just changed, so we're good to go. This is awesome. Let's get out and take a look. Oh man, this is quaint. Look how pleasant this all is. It's fantastic. I feel like I'm on vacation. Right. Gotta get back to work. Can't be lollygagging. Well, I mean, I could be. Right. Lock the doors. Lock the left side doors. Now where are we going? Here we go. Do I even want to take a crack at that name? It looks fairly straightforward. I would say Stogumber or Stogumber. But I feel like, I don't know. I know we're down in Wales, but I'm still really reluctant to try saying any names. Okay, we are descending now. So apparently, Crowcombe Heathfield, apparently that's the high point on the line, because from there out, either direction it's downhill. Okay, good to know. I think we're going to need to unfortunately ride the brakes down this hill. There's, I don't know where the beach is, but there's plenty more line to go. So I don't think I think we got a ways to go yet. We're 27 minutes in. Oh, that's interesting. This little train doesn't like to go more than 25 miles an hour. Okay, good to know. Ah, speaking of. I'm glad we're not on a clock, because until I get to know the brakes on this locomotive. Be careful. Plus, we really did good at that last station. We really hit our mark, so I'm going to try to do it again. Still descending. And I'm guessing, well, I guess we'll descend all the way to the beach. But at that point, we'll be at the level of the sea. A little something I like to call sea level. And we probably won't go a whole lot lower than that. Right, so throttle is off. I'm going to start sort of slowing down proper. We've just been trying to control our speed, but I think we might want to just test the water a little bit, see how this thing stops. Not terribly well. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, I see what that release, right, for the brakes. Okay, so what you do is you move the brakes to running, and then you move the brakes to running, and then you press again, and it releases the pressure out of the cylinder or the pipe or whatever. So it's, I guess they keep a little running pressure, or it takes a while for it to drain out or whatever, but you can sort of force drain it, if that makes sense. Okay, cool, good to know. How are we doing? 35 minutes. Once we get rolling again, we'll see how much further it is. Might pause it here, do the second half as a second half. We'll see though. I mean, I don't have any problem posting a 75-minute video if you don't have any problem watching it. And you know, you're always welcome to skip ahead, skip back, pause it, turn it off and come back to it. Doesn't matter to me. Whatever works for you works for me. Lock the doors. You got it. Now where are we going? Williton. This is where we came from yesterday, wasn't it? So, yeah. If you press and hold, I guess this releases the brake pressure faster. And we give a little. There we go. We are still descending, so I'm going to back off the throttle here and let it sort of coast up to the speed limit. It's a nice fog effect. Sort of misty in the distance. Yep, it's working for me. I like it. And where are we going? This is Williton. This is where we came from. I don't know where the beach is relative to Williton. Right. Back the throttle off a little bit. And wow, we're really going downhill now. Okay, so back the throttle all the way off. And immediately get some brakes going. Okay. Yeah, there's 2 races on tomorrow. The Monaco is on in the morning, and then Indy 500, Indy cars from Indy are on at noon, and I'm just going to lay low, stay out of trouble, avoid all the crazy people, because Memorial Day is a big drinking and fireworks holiday in the U.S., or at least it is where I am. All right, so we've got 15 mile an hour speed limit, but not till we get to Williton. Okay. Perfect. Really kind of stuttering a little bit right there. I'm curious what happened between yesterday and today. Why we had, I mean, we're 30, 35 FPS. Yesterday we were 40 to 45. I just feel like we were doing a lot better yesterday. I'm trying, I checked background processes, try to see if I could find what was causing the problem, but whatever it was, whatever it is, either I'm not seeing it or something else, I don't know. That's my white whale, man. 60 FPS. Ooh, SW. I saw that, and I know what that means. Leveling out now, so give her a little throttle. Alright, interesting, descending again. I feel like the controls are more fluid in this DLC than they are in some of the other ones. I feel like there are a lot more sort of intermediate steps. Something like the ACS, the Bombardier from the Northeast Corridor passenger service. It's like it just has steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's nothing in between. This feels like it has a lot more, like it's a lot easier to sort of fine tune the speed. Wow, FPS is tanking right now. What is going on? Right, we're coming up on 45 minutes. So we'll see what we want to do. When we pull out of this station, no, because once we pull out, we'll be sort of committed to the next one. We'll take a look when we get up here. Decide what we want to do. Yeah, there's a lot of, not delay, but I think you really need to anticipate these brakes. Like the more brake you apply, the longer it takes to release when you do release it. So I was trying to land us right at 15 miles an hour, and even though I released the brakes, trying to time it so we would land right on 15 miles an hour, not even close. They take quite a while to release. Okay. Good to know. Mm-hmm. And I was so focused on where to stop this thing that I didn't even look at the locomotive that's pulling this train that's next to us. I'm wondering if this is our return service, our counterpart, so to speak. Right. We get all our doors on the platform. Well, all the doors that they asked for. Unlock left. And I missed it. That train pulled out before I had a chance to see. I mean, it's identical to this one. The rolling stock, I'm guessing that the locomotive is the same as well. It would be this one or the locomotive from the previous video, right? Because there's only 2 locomotives in this DLC. Right, coming up on 50 minutes, so we got to be getting close. Well, we don't have to be. I assume we are. We may be, we may not be. Hop back inside. Locked doors. 0.8 miles. Okay. Doniford. So, release. Not sure what it is we're pulling into here, whether this is a station or just a stopping point like a village. I know they tell you to do that quite a bit in CSX Heavy Haul, because there really aren't a lot of, right, like places to stop. But there are a lot of towns that you pass through, and that's sort of a marker, like stop in this town or stop in that town. Even though you're not really interacting with the town, if that makes sense. It's just more of a reference point, like where you need to stop. Okay, but no, this does look like a platform of some kind. Alright, so we'll get pulled up here. make it? Can we make it? I think we made it. Yep. Well, I guess we I guess we made as many as we could. Doniford halt. Interesting. So we're just over 50 minutes. Getting close. Lock doors. We can do that. Watch your platform. So, release the brakes. Sound the horn. Is that the ocean? Oh, that's the beach. Okay. Well, I guess that's one way for Dovetail to get around it, is just to move the waves out so far that you can't see them. I don't know if we're going to get any closer than that. Either way, so far so good. Back the throttle off. And I'm getting the brakes ready here because I don't know what to expect when we go around this bend here. feel like Dovetail's a little bit better on the... Yeah, I feel like they're a little bit better on the country scenery than they are on the city scenery. I don't know that they're doing great with straight lines. And I will learn to time this when we get into these stations, so we don't need to give it that second effort at the very end. Right, there we go. A little short. It'll do. Right. Doors on the left side. It's interesting, the last two coaches, the doors didn't open. Or I just can't see the... Right, like it's not rendering down this far. No, I think it is. And I think I read in one of the threads that Dovetail changed the amount and type and quality of activity on the platform. Something like that. Something. Right, here we go. Also, we're at 1 hour, so got to be close. Lock the doors. We will. Objective complete. 2.2 miles. At least the brakes. Here we go. Hop down to this one. Now we're climbing again. Interesting. You know, this line, I have to say, is a little longer than I thought it was. I thought it was about 20 miles end to end. And, I mean, it might be, but with the slower speed of these locomotives, 20 miles is plenty. I think it would be nice to see a little bit more volume, but at the same time I understand, like, I know if they could put more stuff in these DLCs, pretty sure they would. I can't think of any reason why they wouldn't. I think it just takes a lot of time and effort, a lot of work hours to build one of these DLCs, because I can't see why they, I can't see why they could have more in them and not. And it's not like, well, we just want to sell you more stuff. I feel like if they could, because these are, I have to say, they're pretty expensive. You know, if they could provide greater value, I can't see that people wouldn't be pleased. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of a network in these. That being said, the density of track in the yards, in particularly in CSX Heavy Haul and the NEC, the Northeast Corridor DLC, there is a ton of live track in some of those yards. And I know as the community builds scenarios and various things to do in those yards, we'll get to use more and more of it. But for now, even just driving past it is impressive. Right. So we're going to Washford. And from there, it's only another few miles to the end of the line. I don't know if we're going all the way to the end of the line, because we're at 1 hour right now. We're going to be in Washford in about 5 minutes. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe a little bit more. So if we were to go the rest of the way out here, I'd say this is probably 5 or 6 miles to get out here. And that's, at this speed, that's another 20 minutes to half an hour. And we're closing in on 75 minutes. So I think this next stop may be the end of the line for us. If they want us to go all the way to the end of the line, then this is going to be close to a 90-minute, more than a 90-minute video. I don't mind, you know, I'll post it, whatever. But I suspect that Washford is the end of the line for us. Maybe. Who knows? Right. And I'm seeing the draw distance on the shadows there, on those folks on the platform. I don't know. I feel like the graphics sometimes are a bit hit or miss. Right. Unlock doors. We can do that. Left side. Right, like this platform here. I feel like it's not the best one I've ever seen in the game. You know? That. I don't know. Could be my settings, but that's not really doing it for me. Right, so we'll get these gangsters loaded up, and we're right at just about 75 minutes, so I don't know if there'll be another stop after this or if it will tell us that this is the end of the line, or the end of our line. And I'm also, I didn't do it last time, now I don't have time. I'm curious if those last two coaches, if the doors are not opening because, like if it's just beyond the draw distance and the doors are open, but it's not showing the texture of the open door. It's not rendering the texture of the open door. Hard to say. Here we go. Lock doors. You got it. 2 miles. So we got one more stop. At least one more stop. Blue anchor. That's got to be the end of the line. So, release the brakes. Tootle the horn. Here we go. Okay. Now I'm really curious if there's another stop after that or if that's the end of the line, because I thought this was. I feel like they're messing with my emotions. The blue anchor sounds like, it said we were going to the beach, and the blue anchor sounds pretty nautical to me. What do I know? Oh, golly, we're really descending now. think this must be the place. Yep. And I still have yet to see any dovetail waves. So I'm curious if they found a workaround to not have waves, because I don't see any. I don't know. We'll try it again in clear weather. Maybe this is a little foggy, a little overcast. Right. I think this is the end of the line. I think it's got to be. So let's get pulled up here and then see what they've got for us next. Beautiful. Unlock the doors. You got it. Oh, let me do this before I forget. So I'm going to stand up. Yeah, they're open. They're just outside the draw distance. Yep, there go the last two. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Whoa. Pardon me, sir. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Right. Dunster. All right, they got one more for us. Well, I think we're committed now. We really have no choice. Yeah, I don't see a single wave over there. Now, I'm curious. The way this crossing is set up, this level crossing, did those close for us, or they look almost like they're permanently closed? I don't know if they closed for us. I mean, it would make sense that they would close for us. It's a street, a road, right? They wouldn't keep it closed. That's just not a type of crossing gate that I'm familiar with. Yep, I don't see a single wave down there. I think Dovetail gave up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You seen any waves? Don't see any waves. Alright. I'll try to find some. And now, okay, this is curious. We have we're at like barely 20 FPS. This is problematic. I'm going to either have to back down my settings or figure out what's going on in the background, because I feel like, I mean, yesterday we were at like 45, and now I feel like it's just, I mean, this is getting to the point where it's not quite playable. Heat is okay. Yeah. Fans aren't going crazy. I don't know. Okay. Well, we're almost done, so we'll figure it out. Ah. And then it immediately jumps up to like 35. Although, to be fair, it's really not rendering anything because half the monitor is taken up by a static image. Okay, well, what about we go here? Yeah, same thing, it's just this view here. This view tanks us, but this view is fine. Okay. Living and learning. Like always. Interesting. quite the end of the line. A little bit more down here. I'm curious now if they're going to send us to that last little bit at the end. Because right now we're at 90 minutes. 90 is more than 75, and we've been kind of maxed out on throttle this whole trip, and we've gone as fast as the train would go. So I don't know how we could have made it here in 75 minutes. But either way, I feel like every time I think it's the end of the line, they send me one stop further. So let's just assume they're sending us to that one at the end. Right. Unlock the doors. You got it. We can't be more than a mile or so from here. So if they do send us, we'll go. Made it this far. Right. Here we go. Maybe. Might be done, we might not be. Here we go. One more. Right. So brakes off. Brakes are off. They're coming off. Yep, the very end of the line. Okay. It's a nice feature on the right. A little water feature just to the right of the tracks. That's nicely done. Nice detail. Need to get the timing for these brakes. They are, I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I think they just take quite a while to respond. It's another nice detail. I like that. Very cool. Very slow paced, very relaxing game. Definitely. Big fan. Glad that I got this. I think this just about has to be the end of the line because I think it's literally the end of the line. So, got to be done here. This is an hour and 40 minutes. It's a lot more than 75 minutes. And I don't know how we could have got here faster. And even, a few minutes here and there, I don't think we could have made up, 25 minutes? I don't think we could have made up 25 minutes. By being faster out of the station or something. Oh, cool, there's a little turntable down here. This is a proper yard. Right on. Alright. Unlock door. doors. We're on the right side. Fantastic. I don't know if that's a working turntable or a decorative turntable. We'll find out in time, I'm sure. Yeah, with where my frame rate is right now, I really don't want to crank my draw distance up any higher, but I feel like, I mean, it's not the end of the world that I can't see those last coaches, but it'd be nice if I could. You know what that's like. That's that FPS envy. Oh, that's cool. Pretty much everybody. Okay, pretty much everybody got off our train, which would make sense. It's the terminus. This is where everybody was headed. Right. And we're done. Fantastic. How'd we do for? We didn't really have any set times that we needed to be anywhere. Fantastic, folks. Thank you so much for coming back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Train Sim World. I appreciate you sticking around. I know this took a lot longer than we thought it would, but ultimately it was worth it. We'll see you next time. Take care now.